I actually wanted to touch on just for the listeners who may have not heard it yet, but your first 24 hours in LA.
I was a probation officer at Los Padrinos Juvenile Hall, about an hour outside of LA. Never been to LA. It didn't work out well. I resigned that night. Easier than getting killed.
Yeah.
There was nobody who wanted me there. I was a long hair, and the guards didn't want me, and the kids, because the guards didn't want me, had someone they could actually abuse. So I just got out, and it was late at night, and I drove in. For those of you who know LA, you take the Hollywood freeway. I got off at Highland, and if you're in the right lane, you have to turn right when you get to Franklin Avenue, which I didn't realize. There was no map stuff in those days. I thought I was going to Sunset Boulevard to go to the Strip, but I ended up in this right lane. And I had maybe $500 to my name. I had just quit this job in a really depressing way. I had no idea where my life was going. I had some LSD in my pocket. So I figured I was going to go to the Sunset Strip, take some LSD, and go to the place that got me to California, where I saw the kids up against the wall being held up by the police. So I make the right, and there's a motel sign, vacancy, and I need a place that night to sleep. So I pull in, and it was like $28 for the night or something I could afford. And it was right at the driveway. I found out in the morning, next to the Magic Castle on Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
And I go upstairs, I take some psychedelics, and it was like Hotel California. It was a pool, 2-story motel around the pool. And I hear a girl screaming, maybe 1 a.m. I hear a girl screaming, and I see some bodies moving around. I've just come from a jail. So my brain is, something wrong. I go downstairs, I separate them. And the girl punches me, so it cuts my lip a little bit. They were making love. So I go back up to my room, wake up in the morning, go to the pool, and I hear this girl. She could see my lip. Said, "You the guy I hit last night?" And I guess so. Yeah, like really awkward. And it was Janis Joplin. And she was sitting with Jimi Hendrix and Jim Morrison, and Creedence Clearwater was there that day, and Alvin Lee.
Wow.
Pretty wild. And I didn't have a job. I had been what Anthony Bourdain called me, a pharmaceutical salesman in college. So I looked at this group and I said, "Oh my God, as a pharmaceutical salesman, this is the best audience I could ever have in my life."
Right. Top musicians in the world.
Yeah, no. It's like, so I started to share my goods, selling them to them, and started to get friendly. And after maybe a month or two, I was sitting with the guys who became the closest to were the Chambers brothers. Lester and Willie Chambers became really close friends. And they were sitting with Hendrix, and they said, "What do you do for a living other than, sell the thing?" And I said, "Don't know." And Jimmy said, "You're Jewish?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "You should be a manager." And I said, "What's a manager do?" And he said, "You look after the artist." And he said, "Sounds great." He turned to the Chambers brothers and said, "You still got those freaks from Phoenix in your basement?" And Lester said, "Yeah." And turned out it was Alice Cooper. And they negotiated that I had to give Alice $10 a week to say I managed them. So I had a front for selling my drugs. That was what they were trained. And that's how I got into the management. That started my journey. Alice says we met on a lie. I told him he was a manager. He told me he was a singer.
Oh, man. Oh, that's so funny.
And you two, you've been best friends basically since that day almost, right? Like
53 years or something.
That's really special. Thank you for watching Studio 22.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
And follow our socials at Studio 22 Podcast.